Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, Cody, did I say it slow enough for you this time? Now, let's get into the news from this week. The first thing that I want to talk about is from the title and the thumbnail, and that is a video with Kier Serlin called Rollin' with Fit, and this serves as her intro to the Fit team at only 10 years old. And this girl absolutely kills it. In this video, she's doing double peg stalls on quarters, Smith stalls on quarters. She does a double peg grind in here, as well as 180s out of quarter pipes, and just flowing around and jumping things in general. Absolutely killing it at the skate park in this video. And in watching this, watching her bike control and jumping skills, I feel like she could probably ride trails pretty well just based on the skill I'm seeing in watching this video. But I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but lately it seems like there are a lot of kids like 10 and under who have come out of the woodwork and are absolutely killing it. We talked about that kid who did flares and double truck drivers and I think a 3-whip and just all kinds of crazy tricks, as well as the kid that we talked about, I think it was even last week or the week before, who's doing giant airs out of giant quarter pipes. And now we're talking about Kier here at only 10 years old and killing it like this. I think it's safe to say that the future of BMX is very bright because all of these kids have different styles. The kid that we talked about before was doing tabletops and X-up 1-footers and things of that nature. Then we've got Kier, who's running a gyro with brakes and pegs, doing double peg stalls and Smith stalls. And I'm pretty sure I remember recently seeing a young kid on another 16 or 18 inch bike doing a double decade. So there's young kids who are riding flatland as well. There's a really young flatland BMX girl from over in Japan, I think. So, like I said, it's very safe to say that the future of BMX is very, very bright. And I think it would be really, really cool to see all of these young kids get involved with that USA BMX contest that I talked about last week. All of the ones from the US, at least, because this is a US based contest. But all they have to do is go to the skate park and make their best 45-second run on video and then submit it. And we could have a stacked 10 and under division with boys and girls, and it would be really, really cool to see. And I also wanted to make sure that I pointed out in all of this that Kier does Smith stalls on quarter pipes better than I do. So now we can move on to talking about a promo and some leftovers from Nathan Williams' Why Not video that we talked about in a separate video last week. They uploaded a video with leftovers to help promote the video, and it is a lot of crazy stuff that is somehow leftovers from this 9-minute video that's going to be coming out next month. And one thing that I do need to say about this Why Not thing in the video that I made previously is that I did say some things in that video that I wasn't totally sure about, and some people pointed it out to me, and I can admit when I'm wrong, so I'm making sure that I point this out in this video where everyone can see it, that I was wrong about BMX companies not being able to pay people fairly for their work when it comes to videos and projects of this nature. Apparently BMX isn't as broke as I understood it to be, which is a very, very good thing. So I'm happy to admit that I was wrong about this. And I wanted to say that Christian Regal commented on that video saying that these guys set out to do this way from the beginning. So I was wrong in what I said. BMX isn't as broke as I thought it was, and that is a good thing. So I'm sorry to anyone who might be misinformed because of my video, and I'm happy to make this correction, especially with the information that it includes. So head on over and watch this leftovers video, and if you haven't yet, pre-order the video for a chance to win Nathan Williams' bike as well as prize packages from his sponsors. And one thing that I do want to say about the fact that I had to do this correction, the fact that I was wrong in general, is that I am going to be wrong about things. I can't be right 100% of the time, and it's important that I'm open to the fact that I can be wrong and that I need to make these corrections whenever I am so that you guys have factual and correct information about these things. So I'm happy to make corrections when I need to, and I want you guys to know that so that you know that I'm being 100% honest and as truthful and correct and factual as I can be with everything that I talk about on this channel. And with that, the next thing that I want to talk about really doesn't fit in any of the categories that I have to talk about this week, but it is really awesome. So I wanted to make sure that I put it out there for those of you guys who might want to participate in it. So there is a contest going on, a video contest, but not for the riding's sake of it. This is a videography contest for a chance to win a Panasonic HMC 152 setup from Lux BMX. And I will read directly off of this so you guys can get the information for it if you want to participate. So the rules for this are that this should obviously be focused on BMX. The entry should be between 3 and 10 minutes in length. You have to include the Lux BMX logo in it, and all clips must be filmed by you. No additional filming whatsoever. Obviously, this is a videography contest, so you need to be putting all of your work into this video and not using work from somebody else or someone who helped film. And then we've got the criteria for judging: camera work, creativity, editing, and song choice. And you guys have until Monday. You have until Monday, the 24th of August, to submit your video to filmcomp@luxbmx.com with a download link. And what you can win with this is not just the camera. You can win the camera itself, as well as an Optica 0.3x HD super fisheye lens. Then you can win a 16:9 super fisheye lens. You can win a Rode shotgun mic, a Commer camera light kit, as well as an OGO Thai video bag, a spare Panasonic battery, the long life version, multiple lens cleaning accessories, all of the chargers and manuals and whatnot. And then 2 runners up to this will receive a $200 Australian gift certificate or store credit to Lux BMX. So this is really, really awesome. And I believe that this came from somebody wanting their old camera to be put to good use. I think it says Chris Lembo supplied the prize for this and wanted his equipment put to good use. So good on Lux BMX, good on Chris Lembo, and I'm really excited that this is happening. And I'm going to try to follow up on it so you guys can see who wins this contest after August 24th, when the submissions are in and the judging ends and they announce a winner. And I don't know if this is open to the entire world. I'm assuming the fact that this is posted on BMX Union and it doesn't say anything about Australia only in here means that it is, but I'm not entirely sure. So maybe if one of you guys know or are involved with this, one of you could leave a comment in the comments down below letting me know whether or not this is worldwide or just Australia or just certain countries. And then we can move on to talking about some sponsorship news, which I feel like we haven't had a ton of since all of this craziness has been going on. But this week we have a whole bunch of different sponsorship things to talk about. The first one is kind of a huge surprise because I never would have thought that this would have happened. And that is that James Foster is not riding for Hyper BMX anymore. And now he is riding for Standard. Kind of crazy because James Foster is definitely one of those hyper style riders as far as like the huge giant tail whips and park riding element goes. But now he's riding for Standard, which is pretty cool in all honesty. And I think it's cool to see someone like James Foster riding for Standard. And that just adds another X Games winning rider to Standard's lineup. If you guys didn't know, Jamie Bestwick rides for Standard as well. So it's pretty cool to see that. And hopefully one of these days we'll get to see James Foster and Jamie Bestwick riding their Standards at X Games again, because hopefully one of these days X Games will happen again. After that, we've got the fact that Chad Curley is now on Swatch. This is that watch company that we talked about Matthias Dandois riding for. Chad Curley's riding for them as well, and that came with a video. Then we've got 3 other videos. One welcomes Nico Van Loon to We the People, as well as Alejandro Izo, welcome to Verde and SI BMX. Then we've got Janky Evans, welcome to 80s Bike Co. And all of these have videos, and all of these have links in the description below in the order that I talk about them, as well as everything else that I'm going to talk about today. Links in the description below to all of it in the order that I talk about it. And from there, we can move on to talking about the videos from this week. And the first one that I want to talk about is Matt Clausen's 2020 video. And the first thing that I want to say about Matt Clausen is that this dude feels like the most underrated rider in BMX right now. I feel like everyone kind of knows who Matt Clausen is, has heard his name before, but I feel like he just doesn't get the credit he deserves in mainstream BMX and in the industry. This dude has done some of the craziest stuff. You guys remember back to the jam that Austin Augie put on. The name of it is escaping me right now, but he did that insane 360 front tire bonk on this like wall or whatever it was over a rail, over a giant gap to flat. And it was just absolutely insane, and he won that event. and I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to go back to this year's and just throw down just as hard. And this video is absolutely no different. Matt Clausen is a beast. I feel like he's underrated, and I hope that it doesn't stay that way for too much longer into the future. And one thing that I will say about this is I feel like Matt is one of those people who's just been in BMX for so long and killed it for so long that people kind of forget about it. Kind of like the Steve Woodward effect. Steve Woodward has been riding BMX forever, and he has been killing it at the highest level forever, but he's still not one of the top pros. And even in a thing with Dennis Enerson, where he talked with Dennis Enerson, Dennis is like, I don't know how it didn't happen for you, because those guys were good buddies, or are good buddies. So with that, hopefully Matt Clausen and Steve Woodward can move through the ranks of BMX and maybe get the recognition that they deserve on a mainstream industry level, if they even want it. I know Steve does, but I don't know about Matt Clausen personally. All I know is that you need to watch this video because he kills it. And I will say, having looked at the description just now for this video, Matt Clausen does ride for Fiend, which I had absolutely no idea about. So maybe that's part of the problem, and maybe we need to see more from him for Fiend, and Fiend needs to put him out maybe more, or I just need to follow it better, and that they do put him out all the time. And I don't see it. Either way though, I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on Matt Clausen in the comments down below. Do you think he's underrated? Do you think that he gets the support and the exposure that he deserves? Or do you think that he gets too much exposure, which is probably unlikely because of the fact that this video is kind of crazy? After that, we've got a video with Brandon Began called Training Facility. This is a self-filmed video. Then after that, we've got a video with Casey Starling. It's his 2020 merit video. Casey Starling, I was thinking about this, is one of those people, if he keeps riding the way that he does, he could end up kind of like a Brad Sims type dude, because Casey is one of those people who rides and just makes everything look so effortless and easy. Like it's nothing for him. He'll go and do the craziest thing you've ever seen, and it just looks like he just kind of like took no effort, and it just kind of worked for him. And there's so many clips in this video that are perfect examples of that. The opening clip is a backflip off a freaking rock. Literally, it's an angled rock, and he does a flip off of it. Crazy. I mean, it showed one bail, but it looked easy whenever he did it. And then he's doing so many other combos in this video where he's switching between different sides of the bike in grinds, and it just looks effortless. If you've ever tried to pop from one peg side to the other on the same ledge on the same side while you're moving, you know that it is not just easy to do. So with that, if you enjoy street riding and you enjoy watching people make it look very, very easy, this Casey Starling video is one for you. Then we've got a whole bunch of other videos that I didn't want to talk super in depth about, but I did want to make sure that I mentioned. Sabrosa put out another quarantine video. This is volume 2, and the concept behind this, if you guys don't understand from the quarantine title, is that the Sabrosa team is out filming themselves at open skate parks and in the street to make this video, because team trips just can't be a thing right now in the current state of things where we're at. So they put together this video as a volume 2, and I really, really hope that they don't have to put out a volume 3. I hope that the world, the US, and BMX in general can get to a point where people can take BMX trips and put together a video and do it in good taste. I feel like right now, if a team trip was put together of something that just happened, it would come out and it would kind of be in poor taste to everything that's going on. So I really hope that things progress and just get better so that things can kind of go back to normal and we can get team trips and all of those different aspects of BMX again. Then after that, we've got one for all you lip trickers out there. Clint Miller's 46th birthday session video is out. Think about the fact that Clint Miller is 46 years old while you're watching this video, because he still absolutely kills it. And I love seeing this, and I love seeing 46th birthday and riding like this, because it gives me hope that I'm going to still be able to ride like that, or at the level that I am, in 20 years. Then from there, we can move to one for all you trail guys out there. We've got a raw cut of Caddy's 4th of July jam that went down a couple weeks ago. Then after that, we've got S&M TV on the career of Matt Berenger. I know that there's a lot of you guys who are going to be stoked about that. And one thing that I just wanted to point out real quick is I love that every week in these videos and in this BMX news video, I have so many different elements and genres and styles of BMX riding to talk about with videos, and I can usually talk about something that appeals to every single person because there's so many different things that I have to talk about. And with that, we can move on to talking about some product related things. The first thing here is a promo video with Bruno Hoffman from Eclat promoting the Centric pedal. This one's just under a minute long, so if you guys are Bruno Hoffman fans, you're probably going to want to check this one out. And then we can go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum of BMX to another product promo video. This one is for Corey Walsh's signature fast and loose tire from Cult. And this is a minute of Corey Walsh going as fast and loose as you possibly can in concrete skate parks, going super high with all his style to promote this tire that I believe that if he's making a tire for himself to ride the way that he does, it's probably perfectly suited for what he does. And I feel that this is a perfect example of a situation where this product is probably specialized for that so that Corey can ride the best that he can in those situations. And for all of the people out there who like to ride in that style, this is probably going to be a tire that you're going to want to check out. And if you guys like to watch people just completely going as fast as they can possibly go and holding on for dear life because that's how fast they're going, this is a video that you're going to want to see. And if you ever get the chance to watch Corey ride in person, definitely take it because it's insane. Then after that, we can move into the interview section from this week. The first thing that I want to talk about is a podcast interview from Matthias Dandois in his Decoding Athletes podcast with Terry Adams. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It's over an hour long, but if you guys want to hear two Flatland guys having conversation, going back and forth and talking, this is going to be a good one for you. And then after that, we've got one that's just over 10 minutes long with Nikita DeCaros talking about her Olympic journey. And then we've got Ryan Mills talking about his COVID experience. Because if you didn't know, Ryan Mills actually caught it and he talked about all of his experience with it in this video. So if that interests you guys and you want to see a BMX rider's perspective on this, definitely check that one out. And I am very curious to hear your guys' thoughts on kids 10 and under in BMX absolutely killing it, James Foster's move from hyper to standard, or whether or not Matt Clausen is underrated in BMX. Either way though, that's it for this week's BMX news video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and hopefully that will mean that we'll see you tomorrow for another one. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.